and welcome to my space here. I'm going to be doing a full moon in Gemini reading. I'm going to be using the spread that I posted to my Instagram account. So if you'd like to get a copy of that, I'll also use it as the cover photo here. But if you'd like to, get your own copy, you can follow me on Instagram there for that. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and just get right into it. We're going to go ahead and start with the first question is, and this is going to be a collective full moon reading. So where are we at energetically with this full moon, Spirit? Where are we at energetically with this full moon? Oops. Okay, too many fell out. Okay, I love it. We have the Fool as where we're at energetically right now. So this is about taking a leap of faith, kind of trusting in the unknown. Hello, that's so accurate for right now. It's like you may be ready to take a leap, but you don't know where you're going to land, and that might be keeping you making you want to hesitate or kind of contemplate, right? So the Fool is a great card to start with, with a great energy of trusting yourself. Maybe you've done a lot of work to heal your own self-trust, and this could be an energy. I love all the yellow, connecting with your solar plexus chakra, connecting with your gut instinct, letting your gut instincts lead you, letting love lead you. And I love the energy of the sun in the corner, and he's holding a rose. So, and also the dog is this energy of loyalty, and I can just see this energy of there's a lot of excitement. So you might feel really excited, and you might feel I don't know why I feel excited, but remember, it's also important, if you're feeling this sense of excitement, to really ground yourself, because if we don't, it can kind of turn into anxiety and this anticipation, and and then you can kind of get nervous, and then you're very ungrounded. So this is where we're at energetically, is that there's a new start too, because remember, it's 0. So I was feeling this energy of a fresh start, a new beginning. I just feel this energy of, as much as we're going through a deep transformation period is what it feels like for me. It's also feeling this energy of there's a light at the end of the tunnel, connecting with your own light. It's giving you this sense of maybe freedom. That's kind of the energy of the Fool, is feeling carefree, and feeling kind of unbound, unchained, feeling, and maybe you're seeking this, right? Maybe we're all seeking this sense of more freedom in our lives, more expansion, more openness. And you can see his arms are even kind of outstretched, out wide. So connecting with your own heart space to allow you to make decisions that are coming from a place of deep self-trust, rather than from fear, or from scarcity, or from lack, or from not enough, and really connecting more with your own inner knowing, your own inner truth. And this will help you make decisions in a much more confident way. And that's kind of the energy of the Fool too, is feeling very confident in your decisions. So next, what is being illuminated for us with this lunar energy, Spirit? What is being illuminated for us right now? Okay, that one just flipped out, so we'll take that. And I like this one too, the Lovers. And I love that because guess what? This represents Gemini, so I'm glad that a Gemini card came up, and this is what's being illuminated. It's probably relationships of all kinds and needing to make choices. The Lovers is also needing to make choices and needing to choose love, right? So a lot of times I was speaking of that with the Fools, instead of making decisions from this place of lack or doubt or worry or fear, learning to make decisions from this place of feeling from love, from connection, right? And this is the balance of our masculine and feminine energy. So it is important to remember that that gender doesn't apply here, but we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. So this could also, like I was saying in the beginning, relate to relationships. So your relationships could be illuminated right now. So all the things that are think of all this. The full moon is kind of a spotlight on all these darkness, or all your resentments or your angers that you've kind of held, all this negativity that you maybe held in relationships is being highlighted right now. So don't be surprised if your relationships are very challenging or difficult right now, because they're vehicles for growth, right? And a lot of times we want to use our relationships to gratify our ego and to make ourselves feel really good about ourselves, but really relationships are intended to help you grow, to become your highest self, to help you expand and become the best version of yourself, right? And to balance your own light and dark energies, which is the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, the yin and the yang, right? So the light and the dark. And right now, think about the darkness. It's even an eclipse. So, shining the light and illuminating all those dark places that maybe we haven't wanted to look, or like that we've kind of just been burying under the rug. They're all like the rugs being like, you know, it's like being lifted up and you're like, holy shit, like that might be kind of what your relationships feel like right now. Like everything's being exposed. You might feel really exposed right now, or very vulnerable, and this might make you feel very defensive and very like snippy, especially towards your partners or your closest relationships, right? So allow things to kind of come to the light. And I love that, like, you might be being guided by like angels or, you know, like your guides. So allow your guides to support you through, like, if you're going through any difficult transitions in relationships, and allow you know, their assistance to kind of heal you and to help you balance your own masculine and feminine energy. So to make sure you're staying really grounded, if you're feeling very emotional and it's bringing up a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, maybe a lot of loss, or, you know, uncertainty, like making sure you're grounding yourself so you still feel very anchored, grounded, secure, so you can still make those decisions from love rather than from vengeance or from revenge or from meanness or like resentment, right? Making those decisions from a place of connection and love and deep connection with your soul, right? So that you're not intentionally trying to hurt anyone, that you're just trying to, you know, stay as balanced as possible. And that's the energy of Gemini. Think about it. It's the energy of balance, the light and the dark. So you're really going to have to balance your light and your dark right now, and it's really teaching you. Think about the energy of Sagittarius. So it's like that teacher guiding you to, you know, learn more about who you are, so that you can express that more in your relationships. So what can we release in order to create more harmony and space? So what do we need to release in order to create more harmony and space in our lives? Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is always, like, to me, like this energy of like beginner's mindset of you know, starting a new endeavor, like approaching things from like one step at a time. So I'm picking up that we need to release any expectations and really be open to things, you know, happening in a manner that's like, there's just this energy of like things not moving super fast, but be open to like learning. That's kind of the Page of Pentacles, like be open to learning something new, and we can really learn about ourselves a lot through our relationships. We can use them as our mirrors. We can use them to help us become a better version of ourselves if we allow them to, right? But if we just, you know, keep sweeping things under the rug, of course we're not going to, you know, we're not going to see. But let's get another one there. What do we need to release with the Page of Pentacles? Okay, we have the King of Pentacles. So this could be just like, and they're both earth energies, so that's very interesting. Like needing to release this this feeling of like unworthiness, or this feeling of like, that's what I'm kind of picking up on, or this energy of like needing to look a certain way on the outside, or like, because that's kind of like the King of Pentacles, although that would be more of him if he was reversed, you know, like being obsessed with the material world. But I'm picking up on this energy that we just need to release, you know, things that just aren't serving us anymore, just habits that aren't serving us anymore, beliefs that aren't serving us anymore, especially related to our, you know, our power, our sense of self-worth, our sense of value. And that's kind of the King of Pentacles, is like, you know, believing that you're really worthy, believing that, you know, you have everything that you could ever dream of and possibly, you know, could possibly have. You have it all. It's kind of like this energy of abundance. So, you know, like clearing more space energetically so that you can open up more to the abundance that surrounds you, rather than just focusing on the lack or what's missing, maybe. Yeah, so I just feel like there's this energy of like needing to release expectations, or to release any patterns that just are making you not feel good about yourself. So working on more of that like self-esteem, cultivating self-esteem. Okay, next, what energy do we need to call in to manifest our desired reality? Okay, the Devil. That's very interesting, because this is the energy we want to call in. That's very interesting, to manifest our desires. So, and this could be true too, you know, like, connecting with the devil energy doesn't have to be bad. It's just our shadow, and when we can call in our shadow rather than pushing it away, that's going to create balance in our lives, right? It's going to create more harmony in our lives. And I like that we had the devil and the lovers, because it's kind of the same depiction, whereas the devil is like above the two people here and they're feeling very chained, and then the lovers here, there's an angel above it, and they're free, and they're naked and vulnerable. So there's this energy of like needing to call in your shadow, because when you call in your shadow, you integrate it, and then it doesn't appear like phantoms and try to like drag you down or try to cause arguments in your relationships or tries to sabotage you at all, because you're aware of it, right? When you become aware of your shadow, it no longer has to haunt you, right? It no longer has to like keep you up at night and give you anxiety, and and like when we can call in our shadow, we can make peace with our shadow, we can befriend our shadow, then it no longer is unconsciously ruling our life and our behavior and creating chaos and drama and creating diseases and stress in our lives, so we can bring it in, integrate it into ourselves and say, hello shadow, like I love you, let's be friends, I want to know more about you, I want to know more about how I can make you feel better and how I can make you feel seen and heard, so that I'm not acting out my relationships to get attention, right? So that's kind of that's the energy we're calling in. And so you want to call in your shadow, and there's this energy of like in the spiritual community too, of like bypassing the shadow, like there's only love and light. Like no, there's lots of darkness, right? And that's like when you can tap into that darkness, then you shine light on it, right? So if you're just bypassing it, then it's just still going to stay there. It's still going to stay dormant, in your system. But if you can really, bring it into the light, then it's no longer like torturing you, right? Making you feel bound or making you feel trapped or making you feel angry or restless or annoyed or irritated, right? Or agitated, or even just like, I don't know, some of you might just be feeling very like chained or powerless. There's this energy of like, so call in your shadow rather than pushing it away. You've neglected it long enough. It's time to bring it back, give it some love, and you'll see it's like taming that beast. Love your beast, love it. Like balance your beast and your beauty. Like use your beauty to balance your beast, and your beauty is your compassion. Your beauty is your generosity. Your beauty is your friendliness. Think of your beauty like that. And then you're taming your beast, and you're like, whoa, settle down there. And then you can turn your beast, you can turn your shadows into light, right? And that's called alchemy. So really alchemizing your pain, your trauma, your suffering into inspiration, into education, whatever it is for you. Like how can you turn your shadow into something of value, right? And that's kind of the King of Pentacles, which is this energy of value. So really finding that value within yourself, finding the value within your shadow. Your shadow is actually very valuable. Like we've been taught to push it away and to hide that part of ourselves, but if we can really connect with that part of ourselves, then it is very valuable and it will create a lot of value in our life. Okay, so next, how can we express ourselves authentically and creatively? Alright, Spirit, how can we express ourselves more creatively and authentically? Okay, the Empress. I love this because I just did a weekly reading that I will be posting tomorrow, and this came up as the advice. So I love that the Empress came through. And you can, like I was saying, with the devil, and when you're nurturing your shadow self, which would be the Empress, and like remothering yourself and and nurturing yourself and being kind to yourself and loving yourself, when you do that, then you're going to allow yourself to express yourself more creatively, right? And more authentically. You're going to be more true to who you are, because if you're denying your shadow, right, you're denying aspects of yourself. So of course you can't be who you truly are, because you're masking certain parts of yourself that you've been taught are unacceptable or are bad or wrong or sinful or unworthy, right? So when we begin to nurture our shadow, when we begin to nurture our darkness, that's what I was saying, we shine the light on it. And even like, look at all the yellow and all the light in this card. It's like shining light, being very nurturing and mothering towards yourself. Like when you're feeling trapped in your shadows and you're feeling powerless and you're feeling full of doubt and you're feeling full of fears and insecurities and you're anxious, how can you take care of yourself? That's the Empress. It's like, be that nurturer for yourself, be that mother for yourself, make yourself feel good and held and comforted, connect with nature. Truly ground yourself and feel really supported by Mother Earth, right? Maybe we didn't have very supportive mothers and we were taught to neglect ourselves, but as adults, we have to learn to take care of ourselves, because if we can't take care of ourselves, how do we expect to take care of, like our spouse and our children and our homes, right? And our careers and our friendships, right? We can't. They'll go all to the back burner because we can't even take care of ourselves. So we've been taught to neglect ourselves, right? that putting ourselves first is selfish, and that's a BS lie, So like really learning how to nurture yourself and take care of yourself, and supply yourself with infinite amounts of love and energy and vitality, like, and peace and compassion and forgiveness, and then you'll be able to extend that, and you'll be able to extend yourself forgiveness, you'll be able to extend yourself love when you see your shadow rearing its ugly head, right? When your beast wants to come out to play, you can say, come play with me, I'll tame you, you beautiful little wild animal, and maybe you have a lot of wild within you, and this is saying that's okay. Like the Empress, the feminine energy is very wild, right? It's untamable. It's not meant to be caged. And think about our society. We've been taught to be caged and to portray ourselves in a certain way, to be womanly, or to be a good woman, like whatever. We've had so many limitations on us, but the feminine energy is wild as fuck. I mean, like, it's this energy of just being completely free and fluid and flexible, right? And a lot of us have been taught to be really rigid, to control everything, to control our relationships, to control our life path, to control our finances, to control everything. And that takes the fluidity, it takes the magic, it takes the wonder, it takes the ease, the effortlessness out of life. And then we feel stressed, and we feel burdened, and we feel tired, and we feel chained, and we feel trapped. And that's not what life is meant to be about. Life is freedom, expansion, back to the Fool, feeling carefree and feeling blissful and bountiful. That's what life is really supposed to feel like. It's not supposed to feel like torture, right? But a lot of us have been taught that torture, is the norm, right? That pain and stress is the norm. And if you're not stressed, and you're not overworked, and you're not overtired, then you're not worthy of receiving boundless abundance, right? Or love or success. No, you can be very effortless, very easeful, and still, have everything, right? So it doesn't have to be this forceful, this pushness, this hustle mentality. No, that feminine energy is easeful, flowing, the flow will like break through and can go over any barriers, right? So be in your fluid feminine energy to create more right creativity and to be more truthful and honest about who you are, right? To express yourself more creatively and authentically, nurture yourself. So next we have how can we better support ourselves for this upcoming cycle? How can we support ourselves during this upcoming cycle? Okay, Knight of Swords. That's very interesting. The Knight of Swords is this energy of kind of like aggression, wanting to control. Let's get one more there, though. How can we support ourselves with this upcoming cycle, Spirit, with the Knight of Swords? Okay, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So, and this is funny because this came up in the last full moon reading that I did, but it's like keep putting in that work to not be so impulsive. There's this energy of, because that's the Knight of Swords, it's this energy of like communication and impulsively communicating and just kind of saying whatever comes to your mind, like unconsciously. It can be like an energy of aggression or anger or just like kind of meanness, and it's just kind of harsh, right? And kind of distant. It's not very loving or kind. So just I'm picking up on how can we better support ourselves this cycle is by becoming more aware of how we communicate in our relationships, or how we communicate with ourselves, that inner dialogue. And to the Eight of Pentacles is like keep putting in the work in the physical world, keep putting in the work to be a version of yourself, to communicate more lovingly and kindly, to express yourself more authentically and openly, to keep putting in that work, to believe in yourself, to feel really strong and to support yourself. So to feel very, because I feel like people want to feel more supported right now, that they don't feel very supported. And they're trying to find the support from the outside in, but it's really like if you keep connecting to your spirit and putting in that work, like you're going to feel really supported spiritually, which will make you feel very, secure. And that's kind of the Empress and the King of Pentacles. There's this really stable energy, honestly. Okay, I want to get one for each. What do we need to know with the Fool? Where we're at energetically. Okay, yes, adjacent possibilities in the reverse means like don't be too married to your agenda. Like allow things to be flexible, especially with the Fool. Like things are very unknown, so let them kind of be unknown and allow new possibilities to appear to you without a lot of effort, right? You don't have to like force and push anything. What else what energy is being illuminated with the Lovers here? Okay, very interesting. Angel of Love, but it came in reverse, and this could be an energy of like separation, or just being some distance between you and your relationships, or needing to let go of a certain relationship. or a relationship that's just it's not going the way that you hoped or imagined. So you could be feeling some kind of loss around a relationship right now, which is very interesting. But this is saying like it's for the highest good, like allow yourself to kind of come back to that self-love. So if you're having any relationship issues, it's really a sign to kind of nurture yourself and give yourself that love you're kind of seeking in that relationship, so that you feel more connected to your soul. What can we release in order to create more harmony and space in our life, with the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles? Okay, yes, I love that. Door to value. And look at all the money on the card. I love that with the Pentacles card there and the King of Pentacles, because he's very material oriented. So like believing that like you are valuable, right? So, and I love that it's like kind of opening space and there's money kind of flying through and there's golds and, there's flowers. So, and I love that it's a big red door. I'm picking up on the root chakra. When we feel really supported, right, especially spiritually, we feel really supported spiritually and from within, that support will begin to manifest in the external world. And one of those ways it's, manifests as is through money. So, allow yourself to connect with your own King of Pentacles. We all have a King of Pentacles within ourselves that allows for us to feel very secure and stable and safe in the material plane and connected to our bodies and feel really strong and powerful in our bodies. So don't be afraid to connect with that energy. You might have never felt powerful in your life, and you might have been told that you're weak or you're not good enough, but Spirit is saying no. Like your power, it comes from within, not from what anyone has ever told you you are. So really get to know yourself so that you can feel very powerful from the inside out and create this, this door to value, this new opportunity, this new beginning that we had with the Fool. So next, what energy do we need to call in to manifest our desired reality, which we got the Devil there. So what can you clarify that, Spirit? Okay, we have more doors here, so that's funny. Look, there was even doors on this card. There are like so many doors on that card. There's a door on the card we just got with the door to value. And then we have door to personal healing and happiness. And there's a dove on this card, which I love because it's an energy of like forgiveness. But I also love that there's a peacock, which I've never noticed on this card before, which can represent kind of like our ego and our pride, which is totally the shadow aspect of ourselves with the Devil there. And there's a rainbow on the card. So that's always another symbol of new beginnings to me. And look at the doors wide open too. So doors might be a synchronicity for you too. Spirit is saying like doors are opening for you. Like you might just be creating limitations based on, like your shadow self. So if you can integrate that shadow self, then you'll see these doors opening for you. Even if you are kind of like, I don't see anything happening, and you kind of feel like that energy, like come back in within yourself and like you'll feel the expansion. You'll feel the things, the opportunities opening for you from within. Okay, how can we express ourselves more authentically and creatively with the Empress, Spirit? Oh yes, Archangel Raphael. I love him. Connecting with our hearts, right? Nurturing ourselves, loving ourselves unconditionally, and that's the Empress. She'll teach you how to love yourself unconditionally. And to open your heart. Archangel Raphael is the most supreme healer. His energies are just so glorious and beautiful, and he will surround you with compassion and comfort, and he will help you heal your past pain and your past heartbreak, and he'll help you heal your health and your body and your mind. He'll help you just love yourself. And it's just so beautiful, the relationship you can end up having with Archangel Raphael, and just with your own heart space again. You might want to connect with the color green. Like I said, you might want to get outside, connect with trees, eat green plants, eat green foods, drink lots of water. Archangel Raphael says he's very persistent about the water, which sometimes I always don't get a lot of water, and he's always encouraging me. Or you might want to take baths or just be near the water to help you kind of go with the flow, right? I was talking about that fluidity and how the feminine is wild. Think of like a wild ocean or like a wild river, right? It's always, it's flowing, or sometimes it can be very stagnant, so like allow yourself to move and be fluid. Like you don't have to be one emotion all the time, and like when we are one emotion all the time, that becomes our identity, and you might be really bitter, right? Or you might be really resentful, or you might be really unforgiving, right? Or you might be very compassionate, or you might be very loving, or you might be very kind, right? So allow yourself to, move through all your emotions, not denying some of them, but allowing them all to be seen and heard will help you to feel really balanced, right, in your heart chakra, and you can allow yourself to feel loved, allow yourself to be loved and to love unconditionally. So that means like loving yourself even when you're having a really hard day, loving yourself even when you binge eat, eating, or loving yourself even when you do whatever you do that you're trying to, be better at, right? So you're always going to have those kind of like relapses, and that's why I love Archangel Raphael, because he's like the angel of recovery, and help you just feel really like supported, right, when you're going through like challenging things, especially related to the heart chakra. If you're feeling any grief, any loss, any sadness, especially because we have the angel of love in reverse here. So if you're like, if a relationship is ending, or you're feeling like sad about a certain thing, like, and you're in a lot of grief and anger and sadness is coming up, that's okay. Allow yourself to express it. And this will connect you to your feminine energy. And the feminine energy is the energy of creation. It's like creativity. So allow yourself to express yourself by singing, by writing, by doing some kind of sort of creativity, like writing poetry or making art or whatever it is for you, like making music, play an instrument, like and that will help you to ground, right? When you're doing something with your hands, like playing an instrument, like a guitar. My guitar really helps me ground. Or just like dancing helps you really connect with your body. Writing gets your hands actually moving, and you're moving energies when you're writing. So when you're painting, you're also moving. So just allow yourself to channel those feelings of love, or those feelings of gratitude, or even those feelings of anger and grief and loss and sadness. Feel it all. Feel it all and express it all. So lastly, how can we better support ourselves with the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles spirit? Okay, yay, I love it. Blossoming abundance. And this is number 3. And also the Empress card is like a 3 card too. So you might be seeing 3 or 333. I love this card. It's like you are creating this abundance for yourself. There's an owl on this card, and there are little coins. So remember that abundance isn't just financial. Abundance is like health and wealth and happiness and joy, right? And it's family and it's connection. So abundance can be so many different things, but you are creating more abundance in the physical world. And as you continue to like be more, patient, because the Knight of Swords isn't very patient, kind of wants to rush and force things. So I'm picking up on if you can be patient and diligent, like the Eight of Pentacles is like being very diligent, being very patient, putting in your work. If you're putting in your work to be the best version of yourself, and you're following your divine guidance, like you are creating abundance for yourself. So, and remember, abundance is an energy that you tap into within yourself. And then underneath the deck, we have Man holding a heart in reverse. So this could be like you could be disconnected from your heart space right now, or you could be disconnected from your emotions, or this could be a man in your life that is going through some like heartbreak, or some heart healing, or some heart transformations. So this could just be like an aspect of yourself, right? But it could also be maybe somebody you're connecting to that's feeling very brokenhearted, or feeling this sense of loss or this sense of grief or anything. So and then underneath the deck of this one was, I guess I didn't share this one, the Knight of Wands. So this is like an energy of like a fiery energy. It's like this need to commit. So you might need to just commit to like following your heart, right? And sometimes it can be the hardest to follow our heart, especially if you're a man, right? And if you're a man watching this, or if you just know men, that it can be hard for them to express themselves vulnerably. So committing to love can be really challenging for people that haven't been taught to commit to their own self and their own self-love, right? So I think that's kind of the energy, is like commit to loving yourself unconditionally, despite your past fuck ups, despite your past pain or your past trauma. You are still lovable, you are still worthy, you are still valuable, you have meaning, you have purpose, you have worth, and so it can be so hard when we've not lived up to like our own expectations, or our parents' expectations, or society's expectations, when we think we've fallen short or something. It's like, no, you're right where you're meant to be, you're on the right path, you can trust that. I hope this was helpful for you, I hope it was healing for you. I do private readings, so if you'd like to book one with me, you can definitely do that. I'll leave the information below. I hope you have a wonderful full moon in Gemini, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care.